You all know I like to do one of these every year, a little Thanksgiving special, how to talk to your liberal family on Thanksgiving. So we're going to do that this year. I'm Joshua Lisec, of course. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author, co-author, ghostwriter. I've done more than 100 books now. I just finished book number 110. And I'm also a certified hypnotist. And I do these videos to share through my unique lens experiences how to influence the VIPs of your life. And many of you are going to have such VIPs in your life at your table who have liberal views, or even, dare I say, leftist views. There was a comment from @alwaysprepared on my recent video called Liberal Persuasion Test. Go check that out. It is a reframe that I got from Scott Adams. So go check out that previous episode. But the comment is, a lot of left-wing views are not consistent across different topics because they are based on subjective feelings that seem to change for the convenience of the moment and the person involved. The problem seems to me to be a lack of many basic values and principles and a denial of the concept of objective truth and reality itself. Of course, the right wing is certainly not immune to that flaw either. But as you said, since more of them are based on measurables, they tend to be more consistent. 100% correct. So, talk to a liberal who is a vegan or vegetarian or animal rights enthusiast. What are they going to say? They're going to be pro-abortion, aren't they? No, I don't mean pro-choice. I mean actually pro-abortion. They might even be anti-natalist. They will say how, for example, that meat is murder. They will say that eating eggs is unethical. And then you'll say, "Oh, I thought you were pro-choice." You don't have to use offensive language like attacking them. Use their own language when you talk to liberals. "Oh, I thought you're pro-choice." Well, animals don't have a choice. To which you say, "Oh, well, the unborn baby doesn't have a choice either." That's different. So you're going to get that that's different. You're going to get that that's different. Oh, okay. The purpose of talking to, in any type of a debate, even if it's informal over the dinner table or afterwards, after the pumpkin pie and whipped cream are served, whipped topping, whatever you want to call it, the purpose is not to get the other person to change their mind. The purpose is to put on a little show for everyone else to change their minds. Informal and informal debate. The purpose of it is not necessarily to change the person's mind. It's to show how unreasonable that person is. And then everyone goes, "Oh, yeah," to themselves quietly. This is uncomfortable and a little bit awkward. I'm going to go out, get a smoke, whatever. And what's going to happen is they're going to think, "Huh, I was thinking about, going vegetarian. But yeah, how can you say animal lives are more important than a human life? The egg that you're eating isn't even fertilized. But like this, that fetus is kind of alive. That's weird." So that's what you get people to notice. When you talk to leftists, when you talk to liberals, when you talk to anyone on the left, be sure to use their language. Do not use accusatory language. Do not say, "Oh, you're pro-abortion." I can say that because use their language. If they call themselves pro-choice, use that. Part of this steelmanning phenomenon is saying what people actually think, not straw-manning it. "Oh, okay, so you hate babies." No. They might actually. But to keep up with appearances and save face, they're not going to explicitly say that. You got to be smart. You got to be smart about this. And I think you will be. Oh, I think you will be. So this is what I want you to try. Call out their subjective standards, their ever-moving, ever-evolving thing. I'm familiar with a friend who was speaking to his sister-in-law, yes, about abortion. She's pro-abortion, okay, not something like pro-choice, regrettably pro-choice, but like hardcore pro-abortion, anti-natalist, I'm never having kids, getting my tubes tied to 25 type of personality, okay? Something happened to her when she was 11 years old, unfortunately, I think. Do I know that? Absolutely not. However, that is unfortunately a pattern you will witness. Hypothesis. That is hypothesis. In any case, returning to this example, they witnessed a disagreement come up on abortion. Somehow this topic came up. And the question was, why is it that if somebody hits a pregnant woman and she loses the pregnancy, that's considered homicide. And yet it's okay for that same woman to go into an abortion clinic, and you celebrate that when the result is the same. How is one empowering and the other is murder? That's different, because the child's wanted. So it's okay to kill a child if the child's not wanted. So I think we need to have a conversation about orphanages and foster parenting. That's different. So again, the point is not to attack and get the person you're debating, even informally, casually in conversation. The point is not to get them to agree with you. The point is to demonstrate utterly fallacious, reality-free, emotion-soaked language that they have to everyone else who's at the table. That's how you can survive Thanksgiving with your liberals and win.